important questions about the nature of the Westminster system and the way that it produces lots of seats for some and then maybe not so many for others, even though they are on a very big share of the vote. Suzanne Evans is with me, Mr Farage's colleague. That point, Suzanne, I think is one that lots of people will kind of reflect on.
Yes, absolutely. How can it possibly be fair that we're going to take 3.5 million votes and get one seat in the face of possibly two, as the way it looks at it at the moment, and yet the SNP can get 56 seats with 1.5 million votes? It simply isn't fair, and this is something that we have been calling for quite some time now, and I think the majority of people in the country will see that it's completely wrong. The Conservatives are looking to be set to be winning a majority. I think actually they haven't won it fair and square. I think they have won purely because of the fear of a potential Labour SNP coalition. And that's certainly what I found out on the doorstep in our target seats, that people had very much wanted to vote for UKIP, but they have been so terrified of the breakup of the union, of the SNP being able to hold Parliament to ransom effectively, that unfortunately they didn't feel able to put the cross in the UKIP box. And I think tomorrow, when we see some of the council results, I think we'll see a much stronger performance for UKIP, because people will have been able to vote with their heart rather than their head.
You believe, Suzanne Evans, that was the deciding factor, fear of the SNP?
I think it was. I absolutely think it was. That's certainly my experience. It was actually quite depressing talking to some voters who said, I really wanted to vote for you. I love what you stand for. Your policies were great, but I'm sorry, I just can't let those people in.
Certainly some Conservative candidates we've been talking to in the last couple of weeks did feel that in the closing period of this long campaign, that the SNP strategy that was played, according to Suzanne Evans, very effectively by the Conservatives, was a wedge that was driving some UKIP waverers back towards them. However, whether it will have been proven to be the top deciding factor, that's quite a claim to make at this stage. However, Lord Ashcroft...
I think we'll see when we see the council elections tomorrow and see if there's any discrepancy there between the amount of vote share we have for council elections as opposed to the national share for Parliament. But we've done incredibly well. I mean, this night is a very bittersweet night for us, I think. I'm devastated that Mark Reckless has lost his seat. Devastated. He's been a fabulous constituency MP. He will be an extraordinarily hard act to follow. I'm also bitterly disappointed that the Conservatives, not just in Rochester and Stroud, but elsewhere in the country as well, have run a really vicious, nasty and bitter campaign against UKIP. Perhaps not as vicious and nasty as the one that Labour have been running against us in their strongholds, where we've clearly been holding their feet to the fire. The fact, I think we have in fact had more second places in seats that have been won by Labour than the Conservatives shows again that we do not just take Tory votes. We've always said that, and I think tonight that is proof positive.
Suzanne, good to see you. Thanks very much again for coming in. Suzanne Evans there of UKIP with her thoughts on where we are. Well, the jigsaw outside New Broadcasting House in central London is really taking